Thanks for watching The Shawn Campbell Show. Catch us each Thursday at 4:30 Pacific Standard Time on Facebook.
Hey everybody, it's Shawn Campbell, The Shawn Campbell Show. Thanks for tuning in. You know, I got a message this week that someone tried to watch the show and they're like, I just got all this static at the beginning, so I turned it off. That static you saw was on purpose. The static you saw at the beginning was on purpose. So I don't know how to tell that person that was meant to be. It was all part of the dramatic, the build up to the show. So I appreciate everybody coming in today. Gonna do a lot of switching back and forth today. So between all my little banners and stuff like that. So let me get that kind of going. Get this scrolly thing, the bottom thing, and I do come on a little bit early, a few minutes early each week. We'll get into the meat and the potatoes of this week's discussion in a few minutes. But I do want to preview. We got a lot of pretty cool shows coming up. A lot of cool shows. This will be the last one with me by myself for a while next week, and I may have the order mixed up, but I believe. Well, let's just say the next three guests, the next 3 weeks. I'm going to have Heather Ferris on. She's a Pinterest expert. I don't throw that term around that loosely when I call somebody an expert, but Heather Ferris will be on in the next 3 weeks, maybe next week. I believe she's next week to talk all about Pinterest. And if there's one social media platform that I do not know anything about, that is Pinterest. So she'll be on educating all of us, including myself, on how to market your business on Pinterest. So it's going to be very intriguing. I spoke with her a few weeks ago about it. I'm wait. I don't want to hear no more. We're going to save this for the Facebook Live. And then I know in a few weeks, we have a business coach, Jonathan Van Arsdale. And if you are here in Tucson watching and that name does not ring a bell, that's because he's in Denver, Colorado. So a very intriguing dude, very, very likable guy. If you're a business coach watching, I thank you for watching, but it takes a lot for me to Business coach and life coaches, I really have to get to know them pretty well before I can say, yeah, you're a legit business coach. This guy's legit, total legit. I mean, I'm blown away. I've had a few conversations with him, and I'm like, wait. Let's save this for Facebook Live. So, and then I got Morgan Lang from Azuli Language Solutions. And again, it's going to be a very, very intriguing conversation with Morgan to talk about the difference between translation and interpretation when it comes to English to Spanish and vice versa when it comes to your business. And especially if you're here in the Southwest or in many parts of the country, that's not maybe something that has to be on your radar. I mean, if it's, you have a business and you're thinking about putting some of your copy into Spanish or maybe some of your website into Spanish or vice versa. I mean, Morgan's really going to give us a lot of insight on how to do that, but how to do that right. And you shouldn't be looking for a translator. You should be looking for an interpreter because things could be translated literally, but it could be the wrong way to translate it. You could be saying totally the wrong thing. So I have a feeling her and I will be working on several projects down the line together as well. So it's going to be cool. So again, next 3 weeks, you'll have a guest, not just me. Heather Ferris to talk about Pinterest. Jonathan Van Arnsdale from JVA Coaching out of Denver, Colorado, and Morgan Lang, Azuli Language Solutions. So let's get into the meat of all this stuff. And I'll be bouncing back and forth with comments and going through my banners. So be patient if you have any questions. I always get through them, you know that. But we're going to go through the mistakes that small business owners make on their social media. And I got a lot of them, but I narrowed it down to 10 plus a bonus. 10 plus a bonus. So that's 11, right? I could probably put down 50, but these were like the top 10 plus one that I thought were the most important. And I thought would maybe kind of jog your creativity, your creative side into kind of re-examining what you're doing for your social media. So it's going to challenge you. And quite honestly, if most of you that are watching or watch this later, if I don't kind of piss you off a little bit, if I don't irritate you, or get under your skin, then I didn't really do my job. I'll apologize ahead of time for doing that. But at the same time, it's like when somebody that I collaborate with or somebody that I, share some ideas with, that they tell me that, that I could do better. Yeah, I'm going to get a little irritated, but I know they're telling me from a good position and they challenging me and making me uncomfortable. So that's my job for you in this one. I'm not here to schmooze up to you or make some friends with you or whatever. I want you to challenge you and I want you to take something from this and implement this, So let's get to it. So again, I'll be bouncing back and forth and checking the comments on this, but I have a lot of banners so you can kind of follow as I go along. In fact, I'm just going to go through the banners. First, number one of my top 10 missteps, mistakes, miscues by small business owners with their social media marketing. They're not adding any commentary. If you follow me on the Shawn Campbell Show, Campbell Marketing, honestly, I take a lot of shortcuts and I share a lot of third-party information, right? Whether it's relevant information from like a third-party source like Entrepreneur or Inc. or Social Media Examiner or something that's relevant where I'm providing value and information. I don't just post it. I just don't post the article and say, here you go. More times than not, I'm asking a question. Do you agree with this? Here's the latest thing on Facebook. What are your thoughts on this? Or did you know this? Did you know that Instagram has this new feature? I try to ask a question, and there's a lot of third-party content that's out there. And I'm not saying by all means, and I'm doing it, to add value and information. But if you do it, don't just do it and put it out there and just kind of like, here's some information for you. Put some copy on there. Ask a question. Put your 2 cents regarding that issue, or that article or that piece of information that you're sharing, that blog or whatever it is. Add some of your own commentary to kind of stir up some engagement, stir up some, commentary, stir up some conversation going on. That's my tagline, by the way. And I don't just say that, for whatever. I help businesses create conversation. I help create conversations about your business. And part of the way to do it is you put some content out there, but you got to put some copy, ask a question. So don't just throw a link out there and say, here you go, you're welcome. Another thing you do, well, I'm adding, not you, but some businesses do. When you put the link out there and the thumbnail preview shows up, this is a bonus number one. Bonus number two, I'll tell you bonus number one later. I'm gonna throw a lot of bonuses at you. When you put that link out there, right, and the preview comes up, preview, that's gonna show. Go back and erase that link so it doesn't look all discombobulated and messy. If you, again, look at my post, you don't see that link in the copy. I put the link in there, wait for the thumbnail to come up to preview, then you erase the link, then you put your copy in so it looks clean and professional, okay? But don't just throw a link up there and say, there you go, you're welcome. Put some of your own commentary in there, okay? Again, if you have questions, I'm doing the $25 Amazon gift card. I only got 2 people that asked questions this week. So Renee and Cecilia have a 50-50 shot at winning $25. So ask some questions for me as you go, and you'll be included in that $25 gift certificate from Amazon. Okay. Numero dos. No value in information. A lot of small business owners post things that absolutely don't provide any value in information. If you just go by Gary Vee's classic formula for, your social media or organic posts, right? Provide value and information. Position yourself as a leader in your community, as a leader in your industry. As counterintuitive it may seem, give me some tips about your industry and how to avoid never to see you. I've thrown this example out there many times. If you're a mechanic, give me some car maintenance tips, and how to maintain my car so I don't have to see you. If you're a doctor, give me some health tips so I don't, you're positioning yourself as, the leader in your industry. So when I do need you, who am I going to? I'm going to this guy because he gave me all this value and information on his social media. Provide value and information, give me a reason to go to you as a leader in your industry. Give me some information about the community, some positive news about the community. And here's another bonus: tag other businesses when you can. Tag businesses on your posts, get you more reach, more engagement. And if they have their eyes open, they'll be sharing your content as well. Okay. Value and information. A lot of stuff I see out there by other small businesses, no value, no information. I want to pick on realtors a lot. There's nothing worse than, you showing, here's our open house, or I just sold a home. You're not providing me value and information on how I could improve my own value, or some value and information on the new community that's going up, or how to save money on, home expenses or whatever. Position yourself. Okay. Third one, not responding to comments and reviews. I just had a meeting this week with a potential new client, and the new client had 18 comments on her recent posts. So if you're watching right now, out of the 18 comments that was on the post, on this potential new client's post, of the 18 comments, how many did this client respond to? So if you're watching, put a number in. Please, please, please put a number in. Of the 18, how many do you think that the client responded to? It was a good post, and it was only up for like a day at that time. No response. I was going to throw you guys in to the $25 Amazon gift card if you gave me a number between 0 and 18. Nada. And that's coincidentally the number of people that responded right now is the number of times he responded to his comments. He had 18 comments on a post, right? And he replied to none of them. 0. Oh, I'm sorry, I got 2 comments here. 0 and 0. Allison and Michael, you're included. And each one of you right now have a 25% shot at winning the Amazon gift card. Yep. 0. 18, if you have a post and you don't respond to 18, why are you even posting anything, right? Why? This is your opportunity for you to engage in your audience. You put a terrific post out there. You got 18 comments on this post, and they hear crickets from you. Worse yet, people down the line the next day or two are going to see it and see you don't reply, that you're not interested in your audience. That's horrible. It's horrible. So you got to reply. Not to mention that by you replying, here's another bonus for you. By you replying, not only is it going to be just the right thing for you as a business to respond to your audience, taking the time to reply to your post, but it's going to help the algorithm out so more people see your posts. There's more engagement. It's going to be higher on people's news feeds. And there's another bonus for you. Ask a question. It's like, oh, I really appreciate you saying this. Say, what was your da da da? I don't want to reveal what he could have asked, because it's going to reveal the industry and maybe even narrow down who it is. But ask a question. Keep the engagement going. Keep the conversations going. If he asked a question to each one of those and kept the conversation going, then all of a sudden there's 100 comments or so in there. Higher and higher in people's news feeds, and it didn't cost you anything for you to reach a couple thousand people just from being engaged with your audience. You're showing a lack of appreciation to your audience by not engaging in any of them. So I wasn't that harsh when I mentioned that in the meeting, by the way. Let's see. Next one, posting on your personal and not your business. That annoys me so much when, someone it's business related and you're posting it on your personal page. If you really need it on your personal page that badly, post on your business page first, then share it to your personal page. But when it's something that's not even shared on your business page at all, and it's just on your personal page when it's business related, you see it all the time, especially before COVID and before the pandemic, when we actually had social and social interaction. People would be at a fundraiser or a dinner or a networking event, whatever, and they're posted on the personal page. Potential customers who check out your business page won't see how engaged or how involved you are in your community, and you're totally missing out on positioning your business as a leader in your community or your industry. So stop if you really need it that badly on your personal side, post it on your business page. Switch the little profile at the bottom to share on your page if you need it that badly on your personal page. Okay? Stop doing that. Spelling and grammar. I almost misspelled grammar when I put this banner together. Spelling and grammar. Let's see what the comments are. I have a problem figuring out how to move seamlessly between the two. Allison, when we set up the appointment next week to do your video, we will go over that. You have an iPhone, don't you? It's going to take me a while to figure that out. But yeah, I'll show it. It really is pretty easy. So we'll do that. Spelling and grammar. Spelling and grammar. There's nothing worse than a business page saying, hey, thank you, and instead of spelling out you, they put a little you, thank you. Now, don't get me wrong, I like using emojis. There's another bonus for you. I like using emojis, but it doesn't give me permission to misspell something or abbreviate a word in there. Think about it. Another potential customer goes to your business page, and you are in a legal profession, you're a legitimate business, and you're like, thank you, or you're abbreviating stuff. If you're doing it, or I'm trying to think of something that like when you text something, abbreviate it. I can't think of anything now, but don't abbreviate anything. Spell everything out in your in your copy. Don't and make sure everything's spelled right. Oh, you have Android? Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll figure it out. It's really easy. Really easy. Next one. Running bad ads. I should put and not testing. Running bad ads, not testing. You know, when I say running a bad ad, I mean a legitimate ad, not just boosting something. Okay, so a lot of times people do not take the time. If you're boosting or running an ad, what I mean by running a bad ad is like the copy in the ad needs to be a lot different than it is in a post. Okay, an ad is an ad. It should have good copy. It should be intriguing. And it should lead somebody to a call to action. It shouldn't just it shouldn't just say like if you're a used car lot, hey, come by and check out our sale next weekend. I've seen that copy from used car lots. Sell on, Labor Day weekend. Can't wait to see you. That's not ad copy. That's a bad ad. Okay. Um, the ad, I've seen good copy in ads be 3, 4, 5 paragraphs. It's intriguing. It's engaging. It tells a story that needs to tell a story. It has a call to action. You got to tell people what to do. Click on the request time button now to schedule your consultation. It has a bad headline. If you joined us last week, the image needs to be captivating. It should be a video. Put together a slideshow. If it's a good image or a good video, it's 10 times more likely for them to look down at the headline. If it's good headlines, 10 times more likely that they'll read the copy. Your image needs to be good, your headline needs to be good, your copy needs to be sharp, there needs to be a call to action. Do me a favor, just do me a favor. All the ads that you see, distinguish the ones nationally and locally. Look at the ones nationally and see how well they're written. Take some ideas from them and see the ones locally and see how bad some of them they are. They're one little blurb. We got to sell next week and can't wait to see you with a little U instead of white. Don't do bad ads. Take your time. You shouldn't be able to put together an ad in 5 minutes and call it an ad. Okay. And people don't test. The part of the art of marketing is testing your ads. Okay. Your copy more times than not is well written. Your copy is going to stay the same, but maybe you should run 2 or 3 images or videos to see which one works well. Maybe 2 or 3 headlines to see which works better. You should test your ads, have 2 or 3 versions of this minimum, test them out and see which ones are doing better. And then with a click, you're able to keep the one that's running, or maybe they're all 3 of them are running, or maybe all 3 of them are just really bad and not getting any engagement or major calls to action. You got to run good ads and you got to test a few of them out to see which ones work. And another little bonus for you, get somebody else other than your perspective to read that ad and give you some feedback on it. Because sometimes you're so like tunnel vision in your, um, in your industry that you say things in your own vernacular that don't make sense to your audience. That's another huge mistake. I'm giving you all kinds of mistakes. I'm very negative right now. Apologize for that. Run good ads. Test them out. Comment. Are you talking about paid ads? Yes, on that one, Cindy. Thank you, Cindy. You are entered into the $25 Amazon gift card. You got a 20% chance of winning. But yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Paid ads on Facebook, in which you actually, that there's that little blue button to promote now. And if you go through that, that's what I'm talking about. Or if you go through Facebook Manager and actually, utilize that, that's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about bad ads. And just to clarify a little bit more, Cindy, and thank you for the question because it'll clarify for other people who watch this, that the ads are, obviously paid for, and you should be taking the time to target your audiences and their interests. When I talk about organic or your day-to-day or unpaid content, that's kind of your day-to-day stuff where you're providing value and information. So like a general rule, for yourself, Cindy, think of it, your program is in like 2 parts. Your day-to-day stuff in which you're posting every day, provide some value and some information, maybe some of the behind the scenes stuff, this is what we're doing today for this client, or this is what we're putting together, do that for your day to day. then the other part of your program should be paid ads, whether it's on Facebook or Instagram. But congruently, they should work together, right? Value and information on your day-to-day or organic unpaid stuff, and the paid stuff. I mean, take the time to really put together some good copy, which is all the wording, for lack of a better term, in the ad itself. Find a good image or do a good video, and a headline that really needs to be captivating, right? And never, ever, ever forget a call to action at the end of your copy to tell people what to do. Because sometimes you write brilliant copy, but you just got to tell people what the next step is. Hey, click on the sign up button now, because you can change that little call to action button to get your free, copy of my ebook or whatever your call to action is. Tell people what you got to do. Okay. But keep the questions coming. Appreciate that. Next one, call to action. Oh my God, this is a huge one. I need to do one where I tell all the good stuff, because this is getting me irritated. Not just kidding. Call to action to a bad splash page. So one time I was working with a client, and I take responsibility on my part for this as well. I'm not going to blame everybody, but if you point, there's 4 fingers or 3 fingers pointing back at you, right? But I did an ad for a client, and it was a brilliant little product, perfectly priced, ran an ad, and in a day and a half, we had 1,073 clicks to go buy the thing, right? 1,073, you had a big budget, okay? 1,073, and again, give me a range of how many people click to buy the product of 1,073. No, better yet, if you had 1,073 clicks to your splash page to buy your product, how many clicks do you think? How many would you expect to sell? How many would you expect to sell? So go ahead and put that in the comments right now. If 1,073 people clicked on your ad to buy your product or your service or a consultation. Depends on your industry, but general, it could be anywhere from 8 to 12% industry standards, right? We sold 3. 3. What is that? Like 0.03%? We sold 3. And again, I'll take part of the responsibility. I ran a brilliant ad, not to toot my own horn, but I ran a brilliant ad. Let's see what the comment was. 10. You were almost 3 times too high, Allison. We sold 3 in 1,073 clicks, 10 to 20. Yeah, it's still low, but only 3 out of 1,073. Which is horrible, right? On my part, I did pretty good. I know, Cindy. It should have minimum in this particular industry. In this particular industry, we should have sold at least 150 to 180, easy. Not to mention that it was a really good product, very well priced, phenomenal product. Minimum, it should have sold 150 to 180, right? So 3. And what happened? And again, I'll take responsibility, but I'll take part of the I'll take a 3 out of 1,000% responsibility. I ran a really good ad, but when they clicked over to the splash page, you had to do this. Okay, scroll. Okay, I'm seeing everything the ad told me. I'm watching another video. I'm doing this. You had to scroll, and finally you see at the bottom, buy now. Okay, click. Then it goes to another page. Scroll. Then finally buy it now. And then finally it went to where you actually putting your credit card and shipping information. It was just confusing. And I should have checked out this another business splash page they put together. It would look beautiful, but from a marketing perspective, when you have a splash page, when you invest all that time in running good copy, a good image, a good video, a good headline, a call to action, and they go to a splash page, it's so confusing. And you got to scroll forever just to see, I want to buy it now. I want to buy it now. Capture their eagerness to buy your product And as soon as that splash page pops up, put in your information and buy immediately. Immediately. Correct, Allison. Splash page, same thing as a landing page, right? A lot of people have websites and they already have kind of like, where to go to. They could have, especially if you want to set up a consultation. A lot of people already have that contact page, and that's acceptable as long as it's there already to fill out and send the information, right? But yeah, good question, Allison. Splash page is exactly, I'm kind of using those terms, synonymously right there. But yeah, you cannot have a beautiful splash page, but it has to make marketing sense. There should be a number of areas where you buy now, but maybe they want more information. Okay, I got more information, buy now. You should have 3 or 4 different opportunities to buy on a really good splash page, but that's the first thing that pops up. And really, we should have sold a million of these things already. A million of these things. Call to action leads to a bad splash page or landing page. Next one. Ads, but no organic content. Okay, so this kind of goes a little bit to what we were talking about earlier. You run ads, but there's no organic content. And I see this a lot. I've seen this a lot recently, right? Where I see an ad for a cool little product and I want to check their Facebook page out, and there's literally nothing on the page. So I don't buy it. I don't. How many of you have bought so many things online lately during the pandemic? I mean, I bought this. I bought my shirts. I mean, I'm buying 99% of my things online now. But I'll check them out. I'll check out their Facebook page. I'll check out stuff. I take the time to kind of troll them a little bit. But if they don't have any content on literally no content on their Facebook page except for their name and their about and the phone number, I want to see content out there. If they're not providing value and information and day-to-day content, they're spamming. They just set up a quick Facebook page and they're running ads. And really, who knows if they're legitimate or not, right? Think about it. You go to, you see a cool little watch, you want to buy the watch, check out their Facebook page, and there's really nothing on there besides that this was their profile on their background page. They're not providing any value and information. This is totally spammy. I'm not going to buy. I'm not going to, they took enough time for me to captivate me with an ad that they don't have any content on their Facebook page. In my opinion, they could be what is it? Flash in the dark. Give us some examples of content. So content, again, content is like your day-to-day stuff, right? So again, if you go to my Facebook page, the content that you see when you go to my page is all the day-to-day stuff that I'm posting. I'm posting stuff about marketing, entrepreneurship, every once in a while, maybe about emails or SEO or website. All that content, Cindy, is the day-to-day stuff that I flash in the pan. Thank you, Allison. Or maybe the videos that I'm posting, the motivational or the memes about marketing stats that I post on Instagram. That's what I mean by content. Your day-to-day posts, the organic stuff. So again, if you see an ad and you decide to check them out on Facebook, and that may be the determining factor. You want to see what they're more about, right? And there's no content, there's no day-to-day posts on there. They're not providing any value or information or nothing about themselves or the community. That's what I mean by content. LaDon, I checked to see perfect. It's a brilliant point there, LaDon. Brilliant point. And I'm going to enter you in the Amazon $25. So you're not at 6 now. But LaDon brings up a brilliant point, and you'll check to see the age of the content. And if it's more than 6 months old, then she questions things. I mean, that's a brilliant point, because if they haven't posted anything in 6 months or a year or 2 years, but they're running ads, I don't buy from them. I don't. I want them to be engaging or as great as I am on my own social media, which is high standards. Another big mistake. You don't have enough pictures, not enough videos. You're not doing lives. I really have to like that there are a handful of people here in Tucson that have started a regular Facebook Live, and I know a couple of them that I've had a couple of them told me I'm doing my Facebook Live now because what I've seen, what you recommended, and they're doing phenomenal. They're absolutely doing phenomenal. They're taking advantage of their personalities. They're coming through. I think maybe a few of them are a little too scripted. And I mean, I rehearse a little bit, but I'm not very scripted. It should be more authentic, in my opinion. But pictures and videos in your Facebook Lives are going to get you an enormous amount of reach and engagement, which is going back to what we're talking about, Cindy. If you can reach thousands and thousands of people without having to pay for it, then that's amazing, right? Photos, Facebook Lives, videos, really good. Those three will help reach not just hundreds, but thousands of people. Now, admittedly, what I do, here's an idea for you. After I do a Facebook Live or a video, I'll just boost it for 25 to $50. I'll reach a few thousand. I have reached, I think it was about 40,000 people this last week on this page that you're watching this now. Now, yeah, I'm boosting a lot of events, but not for very much money. But I'm boosting the Facebook Live after I'm done, and I reached like 42, 43,000 people this last week. Only 400 and change like the page, but I'm reaching thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of people by doing stuff like this. Oh, you're welcome. No, we won't mention names. LaDon, I need to rethink my content. How do you keep your content fresh? So cheat. LaDon, cheat. I mean, there are to do some research, but there's a number of social media calendars out there that kind of give you ideas or prompts for fresh content, right? You do a really good job as it is, right? You do a very, very good job when you're consistent. But I don't think you need to absolutely rethink your content. I would, if you're not already doing it, create events like I'm doing here for my Facebook Live. When you're consistent, I know that your live is on the same day or the same time every morning. How do you cheat? No, I'm not talking about cheating with gifting. I'm talking about cheating is finding ideas to keep your content fresh. There's a lot of really good calendars out there that literally give you 365 days of, content ideas. So it doesn't need to take, absolutely everything revolved around, your around gifts as an industry. As much as find content out there of what was it? Something recently where this guy gave something for a wedding gift, and it was absolutely horrible gift. But there's a lot of funny stuff out there that I can't think of it now, but I forgot. When I think about it, I'll message you. My content is about gifting. How do you talk over the same thing over and over again? I mean, are you necessarily in the there's so many things around gifting that you could talk about, but besides not just gifting, it's just things around celebrating people's businesses, celebrating people's anniversaries. I'm sure that if you started to find content out there about gifts that have gone wrong and share some of that, find content about the most unusual birthday gifts that were given, the most expensive, the most creative, give creative ideas, and maybe not just around gifting, but creative ideas how to celebrate anniversaries, creative ideas and how to celebrate the holidays, especially the holidays. Give some creative recipes, give some creative, so when the idea of an anniversary or the idea of a holiday or the idea of a birthday comes up, you're around more the celebration type of it, in my opinion, not just the gifting part of it, So yeah, you just yeah. And if you want, let's schedule a call sometime and we can kind of brainstorm about that. So, what is next? Here's a big one. Always looking for new customers. If you've seen any of my lives before this, the 80-20 rule, 80% of your revenue comes in from 20% of your clients, period. So if your social media is always and your ads are always, towards finding new customers, or worse yet, any new customer today is 20% off the service that your paying customers, your existing customers are paying for. Don't do that. I mean, your content, most of your content, most of your ads, in my opinion, should be geared towards retaining your current customers, your current audience. Thank them, right? Um, uh, Social media is not always about finding the new customers. It's about keeping your own, because your competitors are doing it right. They're going to steal your clients and your customers. So don't always look for new customers. Think about how you're going to retain yourself, engage with your audience, right? Going back to the example I gave, with 18 comments on one post, if their competitor were to run the same kind of post and they engage with them, but you didn't engage with them, are you more likely to go to somebody who's engaged with you on social as opposed to somebody who ignored you? So think about that. Does a video on a business page always have to do with what your business is? Sometimes you don't need to. Sometimes you need to show your personal side of you. I completely agree with that. Well, I agree with it, and I also agree that it kind of depends on how much of the personal side you want to share. There's a lot of stuff, honestly, on my personal side I just won't share, on my business page, right? But there's a lot of people that are very oriented with their friends and family to share it, and by all means, it goes with their brand. So it's kind of a more of a personal decision how much you do want to share. I would just make sure you stay away from some topics that are kind of politics and religion in particular. Okay. But yeah, I mean, by all means, if you want to do a video on your business page that has to do with the personal side of you, yeah, absolutely. But I would just kind of keep a few things in mind, not to get too controversial in it. Um, yeah, absolutely. Something comical, absolutely. Especially if it's your personality. You know, I have a lot of clients who, they just post something or a video of something. I had no idea they posted it, and their page is going crazy. And they posted a video of them doing something funny or something in the office that was funny. By all means, there's something comical, and that's part of your business that that shows that side of you. 100%, 100%. Let's see. I'm down to my last big tip. So, and then we're going to go into the Q&A. So if you have any more questions or comments you want to address before this last one's going to sting, I promise you. Ba, 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 ba. You're not doing anything. You're overthinking, making excuses, putting it off, etc. This is the number one thing that I see all the time. And there's some businesses out there that are made for social media, made for Instagram, and they're not posting anything. They're not, to Cindy's point, they're not showing, maybe they have a vibrant personality, but they're not even showing that on their business page. They're doing everything on their personal page, and there's nothing on the business page. There's absolutely, no activity, no action. And again, let's just take hypothetically a restaurant that doesn't post anything or doesn't engage, and you're wondering about that restaurant, and you want to check them out on Facebook, and they haven't posted anything for 9 months, or you see they posted something recently, but they're not engaged with their customers. You may not think it consciously, but you're like, let me go check somewhere else. Let me check this other restaurant out. Or in any of the industries that anybody's watching now, you're telling basically your audience you have nothing to post, you have no value, no information. There's nothing about you that you want to, share with your audience. There's nothing about you that you want to strike a conversation. You're not You don't want to be engaged with your audience. We're on our phones minimum 5 hours a day. It's probably closer to 6 or 7 now during the pandemic. That's where everybody's attention is on their phones, right? And it's people are not going to buy from you. There's two very, very important things about all this, right? People buy from people that they like. So again, to Cindy's point, if she does a video that's a bit comical and showing the personal side, and you like Cindy, you're more apt to buy from Cindy, right? So if she does that, she's taking advantage of that particular side of her, that her personality, right? So people are going to buy from people that they like, and people are not going to buy from anybody that they never heard of. And again, going back to where everybody's attention is, if all of our attention is on our mobile devices, but you expect people to buy from you, but they never heard from you, I mean, and the reason they've never heard from you is because you're not doing anything on social media. It's the easiest way to market yourself today. The easiest way to market yourself. Being consistent, posting every day, scheduling out a video once a week, scheduling a live at least once a month, if not once a week. I mean, I'll be honest. Everybody that's watched right now and who has or is going to watch it all the way to this point, 45 minutes into this video, I post every day. I'm doing this Facebook Live. I'm doing all kinds of stuff on my own social media. I'm practicing what I preach. And I have never been so busy in my almost 5 years of business. Never been so busy. And I'm not saying I've ever been so busy doing lives or doing videos or posting on Instagram or LinkedIn or Twitter, all the stuff that I do. I've just never been so busy, if you understand what I'm saying, right? You know, I hate to state it this way, but this year has been pretty good. And I'd say that very empathetically with other business owners who have gone through a lot of stuff. But the more active, when the pandemic hit, yeah, that's a perfect mantra right there. Imperfect action is better than no action, right? It's better to not overthink it and just post something. There's so many people I know that overthink it. Well, I didn't know where to post this. Well, your audience didn't see anything from you today, right? I did a really good video, but I was too. That's another thing. People are so afraid of what other people are going to think, right? I know my Facebook Lives aren't the best ones out there. I know that, but I don't care what people think. I just want to provide value and information in these Facebook Lives, right? But going back to what I said, when the pandemic hit, I tripled down on all my efforts, all my learning and everything, and my efforts on Facebook. I was doing a video a day for my YouTube channel. And do you think that's by coincidence that I'm as busy as ever been, or just luck? Or what do you think? The thing that I've quadrupled down on has been my social media and my YouTube doing these. So why is it that I'm so busy right now? Just because there's no one else to call for social media? I mean, no, it's because I do stuff like this. It's my branding. It's those 40,000 people in the last week that have seen this page. And I have my Campbell marketing page, and I have my Instagram for each, and I have my LinkedIn. You know, as much as I do for my clients, I'm doing that for myself. And look what it's doing for my business. So I'm living proof that if you just stop worrying about what other people think, stop overthinking, stop making excuses, stop putting it off, invest in, those calendars, those little prompts that give you some ideas for your, social media, commit to a video a week, commit to investing $100 a month in your Facebook ads. Somebody who, I'm always available if you have any questions or want to bounce some ideas off you. My number's at the bottom, my email's at the bottom. You can message me. I think pretty much everybody here on the show watching right now is message me, and I always get back to you, right? It might be within 24 hours, but I always get back to you, right? So you have me to bounce ideas off of. And how much do I charge you? Nothing. I don't, right? I just want you to get it done right. I just want you to do it well. So you have no excuses for not doing anything, As Cindy said, imperfect action is better than no action. right? So any other questions or comments? I got a few that were emailed and messaged in. So put them in the comments right now. The first set of questions comes from Cecilia. What are my thoughts on target marketing? Is there such thing as being too targeted? All right, so this is the biggest nugget. I keep saying that, but this is really, really the biggest nugget of this video. So to specify, right, we're going to talk specifically in the next few minutes about paid ads. So it's my target marketing. So again, I was in a meeting 2 weeks ago, and this previous company that I was working with, this new client was just basically, putting the pin on the client's location and doing like a 25-mile radius, and they call that targeting. That's not targeting, that's just a geofence, and a geofence is not going to be effective. So going to referring specifically, and this is coming specifically from other marketers, so you can listen to them if you don't want to listen to me about this. But basically, when you run an ad, you could do that. You could do the geofence thing around it, right? But really, take some time and maybe even poll some of your audience, some of your known clients, and poll people that could be potential customers, and ask them 10, 12, 15 questions about themselves, their interests, or whatever. And you could target those interests. So basically, you're running that one ad. Then if you want to do the geofence thing, do that around a certain area. But then in another subset of that ad, run the same ad, but specifically target on people's interests. You could target on whether they're employed. Say you have a great product for people at Raytheon, right? You want to target the people specifically at Raytheon for something. You could target people that are employed there. Say you have a product specifically for the top 5 to 10% income earners. You could target them. You can get as creepy as you can imagine when you start targeting your audience, but don't do it all in one clump. You want to break it down into like several subsets, if you will, of one ad of your targets. Okay. So those are my thoughts on targets. Really, an ad should have a number of, one ad could have a number of subset of targeted audiences, really, to be honest. Is there such thing as being too targeted? That's where testing comes in, Cecilia. So if I'm targeting with one ad, but 5 different sub-target audiences, so to speak, if I want to run an ad, but I'm going to target one specific segment of that audience, another specific segment, another specific, and I'm running that ad for a few days, and I'm seeing maybe 2 of the 5 are getting a lot of engagement, I'm selling a lot of products, I keep those on, but the other little sub-targets, so to speak, aren't doing anything, then I turn those off. So again, that kind of goes down to testing your ad and testing out who you think is, your potential target audience on that. Her third question, what's the best way to grow an audience organically? Again, don't worry about how many likes you have on your Facebook page, on your Instagram. Just put out really good content. Don't buy followers. Again, going back to my metrics that I've shared with you now, I only have like 400 and some people that like the page that you're watching now on Facebook, but I've reached 40,000 people, right? So worry more about not the likes you have, but how many people that you're actually reaching with your content. So Renee has a question. Was it a question or 2 questions? How much is too much posting? Too much posting. It really depends on the platform. Every day, just about every day on Facebook, maybe not on Sundays, but I post probably a couple times a day on Facebook. I've heard you should be posting like 3 to 5 times on LinkedIn these days. 2 to 4 times minimum on Instagram every day. That there really isn't too. I don't know how to say it, but have you ever had too much content that you think you'll have too much content for one platform in one day. No, you post every day and post a couple times a day on every platform. Don't worry about too much posting. I mean, don't worry about it. Just post it. Good information. Because who really has too much content? Do any of you right now have? I got enough content to post 10 times a day on Facebook. I don't think anybody has that much content. So too much posting. I don't know if you can. But 2 to 3 times a day on Facebook, 2 to 4 times on Instagram, and like 3 to 5 on LinkedIn. And when and how should you go live? So I think you should go live every week. I think you should create an event for it. I think you should boost the event. You target the people specifically who you want to see and go to your event specifically. That's how I think you should do lives. Now, there are all other people that are doing lives every week. Phenomenal job. Really good. They got tremendous guests on there. But in my opinion, I will create an event for it, put some money behind the event. Then after this is done, I boost it as well for a little bit more to get more people, more eyes on it. So that's how I think you should do lives. And really, I got all that from the Facebook marketing seminar I attended about a month ago now. So that comes straight from the biggest experts in the world, not just from me, but I'm just copying their models that they shared with me. So that is it today. I really appreciate it. And hopefully I've provided some good information and you guys got something out of this. Again, the next 3 weeks, I have Heather Ferris, who's a Pinterest expert, coming on. Jonathan Van Arsdale, who's a business coach out of Colorado, coming on to share some really good entrepreneurial stuff on there. Then I got Morgan Lang from Azuli Language Solutions coming on in 3 weeks. So look forward to it. If you have any other questions, everybody that commented plus Renee and Cecilia will be put into the drawing tomorrow morning for a $25 Amazon gift card, in which I will do live. Thanks for watching, Cindy. Really appreciate it. So, and until next week, thank you. See you next week.